The heck? We dropped all these French fries here. Man, the rain's just not stopping, huh? Like, mostly for this whole month, it seems like. Where's the snow? Although it says it was supposed to snow, like, with a possibility. What did I read today? It's kind of interesting reading this one here. It said, man admits to flying drone that landed on Senggang LRT train tracks. A man pleaded guilty in the state courts on Wednesday to operating a drone that landed on the tracks at Senggang LRT and was struck by a train. Homan Wong, 21, was flying the drone from an open field next to Senggang LRT to take aerial videos and photographs of the trains. However, the device ended up landing on the train tracks after it ran out of battery power. While the incident caused no delay and no damage to the train, Wong later uploaded a video detailing the incident, spurring the SBS Transit to file a report with the Civil Aviation Authority of Singapore. So think about that. Your drone goes out of control or whatever, it runs out of battery, it crashes into the train tracks and all that. You'd assume, oh no, did you damage anything? Are you in trouble now because you landed in that area? And the people working there at first, I guess they're just like, here's your drone back. Like, I would guess as the operator, be like, oh, thank goodness, like everything's okay and all that. And it's not until he actually posted the video and then they decided, okay, that's it, we're gonna do something about it afterwards. It says here, Wong, who was a full-time national serviceman at the time of the offense, pleaded guilty to one count of operating an unmanned aircraft outdoors in a manner which endangered the safety of the persons and property. Another charge of operating without a valid Class 2 activity permit will be taken into consideration for this sentencing, which has been adjourned to the 9th of January. The permit specifies conditions under which drones can be flown and helps to ensure that users operate the devices safely as well as within the law. These conditions include not using drones beyond 85% of their maximum battery endurance and not having them interfere with public transport or emergency service providers. That's kind of interesting that they actually have a law like that saying you can't fly beyond 85% of the battery. So just let's say technically if the guy is like in a field and they decide just to do, I guess, like a fun test to see how long the battery can last, like on the drone, they'll leave it there hovering and let it land like when it has to. Like, would that technically be illegal then, according to this? As to what he was flying, apparently it was a DJI Mavic Pro, and it says he was flying for about 40 minutes in the field beside the station. And then afterwards it says he flew his drone over pedestrian walkways with moderate human traffic. He also flew the drone over the train tracks at the station to take videos and photographs of the trains entering and leaving the station. And I guess that's when the thing happened in terms of it running out of battery. He was actually flying it over the tracks and then basically it crashed afterwards. And then in the evening, basically the staff helped him recover it. And again, to think about, it seemed like they had no issues with it. Like, okay, you know, it happened, don't do it again. Until he posted like a video about it. So as it says here, Wong later posted a video of the incident on YouTube entitled, DJI Mavic Pro survived a train crash. After the video made its rounds online, SBS Transport reported the incident to the CAAS on the 9th of April. And with all this, he could potentially pay a fine of up to $20,000, it says. I guess he just pushed his luck, huh? It's one of those things where, oh man, such a crazy footage and all that, I gotta post it up there. And then it was interesting reading this because it sounded like in an area people wanted, like the government, to ease up on the drone laws because they could use the tech in a great way, I suppose, for productivity and to save money. This one says, Graziers urge drone law changes to ease the cost of drought. Fixed-wing aircraft and helicopters are often used on large stations for water management, stock movement, and pest control, but the cost can add up. Landowners who want to add cheaper unmanned aerial vehicles to their toolkits says current safety regulations are requiring drones to stay in line of sight are too restrictive. Remote Queensland graziers are working with the Civil Aviation Authority to loosen that regulation. Brightlands, a 30,000 hectare station in the Malbon River, 60 kilometers south of Cloncurry in Queensland, remote northwest, has been in Alistair McDonald's family since 1946. Mr. McDonald said he had seen a lot of change in farming practices and technology and was excited about what UAVs had to offer. And I guess according to them, it says flying the drone would save them almost $1,000 a week. And it says, I think because there's such a big influx of drones and everything's becoming so much more popular, its regulations trying to catch up, it's a fair bit behind at the moment. And safety first, the benefits of drones in rural sectors have sparked calls for change to legislation around their use in agriculture. CAAS said it understands the issue but wants to manage the potential dangers. They said they were developing legislation to integrate drones into primary industries as safely as possible. CASA spokesman Craig Peterson said it was often difficult for people new to drone technology to fully understand the risks of using them. Drones can be prone to flyaway, for example, he said. It's quite possible that the thing can happen, a flyaway, if we have certain faults within the drone system. Monitoring other aircraft and ensuring drones will not endanger to those aircraft is one risk, bushfires are another. It really is a step up of complexity for operation to send a drone beyond line of sight. The rules, they said, reflect that complexity. Got me thinking too, because like for me, I only started the hobby when more the consumer-oriented drones came out where they're all pretty much made for you, you can fly, and I just want to capture like videos and stuff. But some people were saying things like, just for things like those model aviation and stuff, way before, technically they said it was more dangerous to fly it. Like, I don't know, what is it? I guess powered by fuel or something like that. Like it's way more dangerous than it is now. Yet to my understanding, they've never destroyed like an airplane or anything like that, like to my knowledge. So it's like one of those situations, I guess, where it's like the lawmakers say, it takes a lot of work to actually do this. You guys aren't accounting for everything we have to think of. And then the other side of people using it saying, it's pretty straightforward and this and this and this. So it's kind of like the two sides basically not agreeing in that way. Because it even says here, but the onus is on the graziers to demonstrate to CASA the systems they would develop to mitigate drone risks and to describe their pilot training procedures. It is a daunting situation for farmers with little or no experience in policy development. The vast majority of people looking to use them don't have the time or resources to develop whole training packages and programs to get drone pilots going. It's an added cost. And then I think these quotes are kind of interesting from people who's been around the block for a while, so to speak, seeing everything kind of coming in full circles like again and again and again. It says here, Mr. McDonald remembers his father buying a plane in 1960s and seeing helicopters being introduced in the 1980s. When they first came out, everyone said, "You're mad, it can't happen, it's not going to work," he said. But he is thankful that the practice of aviation and agriculture took off. There'd definitely be no Northern Australia cattle industry if it wasn't for helicopters, he said. These drones could be the same because it's more efficient. So who would you think, I guess, is more correct in this situation? Is it people basically simplifying it way too much? Or is it regulators basically overcomplicating it? But I guess like that guy said, history kind of repeats itself in many ways in terms of people looking at new tech and saying, oh, it's impossible. You need like this and this and this. When in reality, like you look at it nowadays in retrospect, you'll be like, what were they thinking? Like obviously you want some kind of precaution and stuff like that when it comes to using anything, but it makes you think how much is too much and ridiculous, where in certain situations you just can't 100% prepare for it and it's not a reason to say like don't use it. And the rain continues, of course, again. I guess it's time for the archive. Alright, see you guys later.